Show me one person that ever wore a dress in Hollywood unsuccessfully. That's how you understand what a ritual is. So 20 years ago, I knew that transgenders was gonna be a thing.
Shaboozey, how you feeling, man?
Feeling amazing. I'm feeling great, man.
What are you wearing? Who you wearing?
Hey, you know you dead wrong for this, Shaboozey. Now, Shaboozey, come on, gang. Shaboozey, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I don't know how I feel about this, gang.
These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. That's why, you know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job.
Y'all, it's over. Shaboozey has completed the humiliation ritual. Look what the hell he got on. Bruh, not Shaboozey. They didn't turn Shaboozey to Shabootay. In the video, when he posing taking pictures, you can literally tell that he's uncomfortable.
What if I told you the most talked about Met Gala outfit this year wasn't about fashion at all, but a hidden ritual that Katt Williams has been warning us about for years? Sounds dramatic, right? But stay with me, because once you connect the dots between Shaboozey's head-turning Met Gala debut, Katt Williams' long history of calling out Hollywood's darkest secrets, and the growing online obsession with so-called humiliation rituals, you start to realize maybe it's not just a conspiracy theory after all. Maybe we're watching something unfold in plain sight, and we just don't want to admit it. Let's break this all down step by step. On the surface, it was just another Met Gala red carpet moment. Shaboozey, the rising country artist blending hip-hop swagger with country twang, made his Met Gala debut dressed in a turquoise cropped suit jacket, matching pants, and a beaded chain elegantly draped across his chest. The look was daring, fashionable, and fit perfectly with the event's theme. Or so we thought. Because as soon as photos and video clips hit the internet, fans weren't just talking about the clothes. They were dissecting Shaboozey's every facial expression, every nervous glance, every awkward shrug. He looks uncomfortable. Why won't he answer simple questions about his outfit? Did someone tell him to wear that? Comment sections exploded. People started joking. He looks like somebody's auntie headed to Sunday service. But quickly, the jokes morphed into something darker. This isn't just fashion, they said. This is another humiliation ritual. This is initiation, right in front of us. To understand why people are so quick to jump to that conclusion, you have to understand Katt Williams. For years, the outspoken comedian has been calling out what he sees as the dark underbelly of fame, the hidden price celebrities pay to stay in the public eye. One of his most infamous claims is about the so-called dress ritual, where black male celebrities are allegedly pressured to wear dresses or take on feminized roles as a form of public emasculation.
Show me one person that ever wore a dress in Hollywood unsuccessfully. That's how you understand what a ritual is.
It's not about comedy, Katt says. It's about obedience. It's about seeing who's willing to play along, who's willing to submit, who's willing to trade dignity for career advancement. But here's the twist. In his most recent interviews, Katt has said that people focus too much on the dress part and miss the bigger point. It's not just about clothing. It's about the ritual. According to him, the elites who control Hollywood use a range of symbolic acts. Not just dresses, but weird outfits, public humiliation, viral scandals, to test loyalty, to see who's willing to be controlled. And Katt's not the only one sounding the alarm. Let's rewind to 2006, when Dave Chappelle sat down with Oprah Winfrey for one of the most revealing interviews of his career. At the time, Dave had just walked away from his mega-successful Comedy Central show, leaving behind a $50 million contract. Why? Because, he said, he couldn't handle the pressure, the manipulation, and the subtle ways Hollywood tried to break him. One story stood out. While filming a movie with Martin Lawrence, Dave walked into his trailer and saw a dress waiting for him. The producers wanted him to wear it for a comedic scene. Dave refused. He told Oprah that when he pushed back, the crew didn't just shrug and say, "Okay, no problem." Instead, they applied pressure. They told him all the greats had done it. They insisted it would be funny. They guilt-tripped him by bringing up how much money was on the line. Eventually, they gave up, but only after realizing Dave wasn't going to fold. What made it even weirder? They already had an alternative version of the script ready to go, so the dress wasn't even necessary. It was a test. Kevin Hart added another layer to this conversation when he was asked about Chappelle's comments. At first, Kevin was clear. He had boundaries. He said, "I'm a brand. I know what I stand for. There are limits I won't cross." But then, a few years later, Kevin appeared on Saturday Night Live, wearing a dress. He played a female pope in a comedy skit, and immediately after, his career skyrocketed. He became one of the biggest box office draws in Hollywood, landing major endorsements, selling out stadium tours, and dominating the entertainment world. Coincidence? Maybe. But for conspiracy theorists, this was yet another example of the so-called ritual at work. In recent years, Katt Williams has expanded his warnings to include something even darker: occult symbolism. According to Katt, the humiliation rituals we see on the surface are just one layer. Behind the scenes, there's a deeper game at play, one involving Baphomet symbolism, secret societies, and elite-level rituals designed to test submission and loyalty. He points to cultural shifts, like the rise of transgender visibility, as part of a broader normalization of these occult symbols. He says it's not about being a prophet, it's about recognizing patterns. Once you know what to look for, you see it everywhere. So, when Shaboozey showed up to the Met Gala in his turquoise suit, people were quick to interpret it through this lens. Some fans immediately pointed out that turquoise symbolizes spiritual transformation, a shedding of the old self. Others zoomed in on his nervous body language, suggesting he wasn't just showcasing fashion, he was participating in a ritual. Clips of reporters asking him, "Who are you wearing? How are you feeling?" went viral because of how awkwardly he responded. He didn't seem to know what to say. He fumbled. He looked uncomfortable. Critics online said, "Somebody told that man to put that on, and he did." But not everyone agrees with this interpretation. Many of Shaboozey's fans rushed to his defense, pointing out that the Met Gala is, at its core, a fashion event. Its theme this year focused on fine tailoring and the history of black dandism, a style movement created by black men. "This is literally part of black fashion heritage," one fan argued. "He's showcasing a designer. Why are y'all reading so much into this?" Another added, "You expect him to show up in a t-shirt and jeans? It's the Met Gala." These defenders say the humiliation ritual narrative is not only overblown, it's borderline offensive, suggesting that anytime a black man embraces fashion, it's somehow a conspiracy. And this is where the internet is sharply divided. On one side, you have the skeptics. They roll their eyes at Katt Williams, calling him a conspiracy theorist, someone who's been burned by fame and now sees patterns where none exist. They argue that celebrities are just celebrities. They wear weird outfits, they do edgy things, and not everything has to mean something. On the other side, you have the believers. To them, Katt is a truth teller, a prophet who's been pulling back the curtain on Hollywood's dark underbelly for decades. They see the same patterns repeating over and over, and they believe moments like Shaboozey's Met Gala debut are not accidents. They're orchestrated. To the truthers, every viral scandal, every shocking outfit, every carefully staged photo op is another breadcrumb in a trail that leads straight to the top of the celebrity pyramid. One of the most unsettling parts of this conversation is the idea that public humiliation isn't just a side effect of fame, it's part of the price. Katt Williams argues that celebrities are asked, time and time again, to submit themselves to embarrassing, humiliating, or bizarre acts, all in the name of maintaining their status. And once they do, they're rewarded with more fame, more money, more opportunities. But if they refuse, if they pull a Dave Chappelle and walk away, they get branded as difficult, paranoid, or crazy. Here's where things get even more interesting. Why are we, the public, so eager to believe in these rituals? Maybe it's because we want to think there's a hidden system running everything, that fame, success, and power aren't random. They're controlled by a secret club with a rule book. It's comforting, in a way, to believe there's an explanation for why some people rise and others fall. It's easier than admitting the entertainment world is chaotic, unpredictable, and often unfair. But maybe, just maybe, the conspiracy theories persist because there's at least a grain of truth in them. So, was Shaboozey's Met Gala moment just a fashionable debut? Or was it a public initiation, another symbolic gesture in a long line of celebrity rituals? We may never know for sure, but what's undeniable is that the conversation around these moments keeps growing. Every time a celebrity does something bizarre, shocking, or humiliating in public, the internet lights up with speculation. And as long as Katt Williams keeps speaking out, as long as people keep connecting the dots, these theories aren't going away anytime soon. At the end of the day, maybe the real takeaway isn't about Shaboozey or his suit. Maybe it's about the stories we tell ourselves to make sense of a world we can't fully understand. Because whether you think Katt is right or wrong, one thing's for sure. Hollywood runs on spectacle, on performance, on creating moments that make us stop, stare, and wonder what's really going on behind the curtain. What do you think? Are people like Katt Williams reaching too far, seeing hidden meanings where none exist? Or is there truly something deeper at play here, something most of us are too distracted or too scared to acknowledge? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't miss the next video. Because if Katt's right, the rituals are only getting bolder, and the price of fame is only getting higher.